All right, y'all take care. Hope to see you never.
All right, welcome back, guys. We are talking about Paramount Plus MTV The Challenge All Stars Episode 3. I've got the power. All right, we start off with a very intro with Yes and Teck are naked. Recap last time on the challenge. Before we continue on with this recap, the previous episodes, we have a bunch of stuff written down, a bunch of notes, and I talked to my wife. By the way, I'm Adam. This is
Kathleen.
We're going to try to do this recap, no notes. We want to try to make it flow a little more naturally if we can. So let's see if we can remember. Teck and Yes do the recap. I don't think anybody wanted that or needed to see that. I mean, that was just kind of uncalled for. Teck was very free with his body this episode, and I think it's okay if we just stick to challenges and social game, and if you want to let us know they're naked, you can just film from the waist up and let Teck do his commentary. He's all natural, whatever. Okay, Kendall comes in, celebrates the win back at the house. Hasela calls Kendall a Komodo dragon. We see Beth and Cyrus, if I remember right. They're doing some kind of weird nickname thing. We see Kendall down doing
yoga.
Jemmye is working to form an alliance with Nehemiah. Mm-hmm. Nehemiah is totally fine with this because he wants to learn a better social game, and he's wanting to learn from Jemmye. And he makes a note. He's like, I need to be with somebody I can trust. To me, this is a bad game move. I don't think Jemmye is a player that you can trust. I think we move on next to the challenge, which is melt the ice away, right?
Melt away.
Melt away.
Yeah, melt away.
And apparently this is something that they did a long time ago. This is not a challenge that you and I have seen.
Mm-mm. Battle of the Sexes.
Right. I don't know if that's on Netflix or Hulu or if it's even available. We've looked, but we haven't been able to watch this one. And but it looks pretty simple. But TJ does tell them the ice is thicker. There is a 5-minute penalty if they break the shield. Katie says that she remembers doing this challenge and she is not looking forward to doing it again. So they have to melt the ice. It's a huge block. They get split up into their teams: gold, silver, black, copper. I feel like there was a fifth team. Gray. Okay, gold, silver, black, copper, gray. And they have to pick a male captain and a female captain on each team. This is a male elimination. Darrel pees on the ice. Forgot about that. Darrel peed on the ice. This is a very weird challenge. Darrel's peeing on the ice. They're putting their bodies. They're doing very awkward things. They're doing anything they can to melt the ice. Big Easy is spinning Hasela like a record, like he's a DJ, and she's on a giant turntable. But there's one person that's not really helping. She thinks she's helping.
Yeah, it was Arissa.
Doing
her prayer, I guess, to the sky.
Yeah, I don't know what God or gods or universe or Mother Nature. I don't know what she believes in or what her I don't know her belief, but she had her hands in the air, and Teck makes a comment, says, "Hey, I get what you're doing, but that prayer should have been done on the way here." Not during the challenge, we need your help. But, Arissa doesn't have a lot of body weight and or body heat probably to help melt the ice away.
I think also it must be cold wherever they're at because they said that it wasn't melting. Like even as much friction they were creating and all that. Like I think from the flashback what you could see is they're possibly near a beach, or it looks more sunny at least. But they seem like they're up in the mountains somewhere, so it must be colder. And man, that seems hard.
Yeah, this thing was not melting at all. And TJ and whatever other judges were there, I think they figured it out. Like, we're going to be here all day if these guys don't get a hammer. So they say, everybody stop. He decides to give each team one hammer We see Alton. He's swinging away. Jemmye makes a note in the Aftermath show. This was not a good idea because he wasn't being very finesse or
careful.
Yeah, he wasn't being very careful once it got to the shield.
Because even Nehemiah, he was like, once you got to the shield, you had to like be like Michelangelo and just chip it away.
Chip it away. Yeah, Alton was swinging with all his might, no matter what, trying to get those shields. They end up breaking 2 shields, but Mark is on the same team. He's confident, even with the 2 breaks, even with the 10-minute penalty, they've got this thing on lock. Jemmye is very important to this team as she knows all the shields have each seasons 1 through 36, and they have to put them up in order. And so Jemmye is important to that. They get it done. Gold team finishes first. Silver team is right behind them, and then they get all the way down. Do you remember the color of Nehemiah and Big Easy's team? Was it copper or?
I think so.
It was something like that. I forget, whatever their team was, Nehemiah, Big Easy,
Hisela,
and I forget the 4th girl. But either way, Katie. Nehemiah, what is it?
It was Eric and Katie that they were together. That's why.
Oh, okay. So they lost, and Nehemiah knows he's the captain. He knows he's going to have to go in. TJ says, hey, gold finished first. They celebrate. But that 10-minute penalty does come into play. Silver is actually the winner. Darrel, we find out in the Aftermath show, had been memorizing the seasons in order.
Yeah.
Every time he had to go number 2 in the bathroom, he's like memorizing. He had it down. So Silver actually pulls out the win. This makes Darrel safe, and this makes Kendall the one with the lifesaver. Then somebody puts a target on their back.
Yeah. I don't know why, because he wasn't even on a winning team, and it was Teck. He just starts calling out on Nehemiah for some reason and dogging on him, and Nehemiah, like, I think at first he was okay with it, but then because Teck just kept going, it got under his nerves, and like Nehemiah's like, well, I'll see you in there, basically. His like
Yeah, it's funny, like, you would think Teck would have learned from last week, don't do anything to put a target on your back. And that's what happened with Kendall. And then this week, and hearing Ruthie talk and hearing Jemmye talk and others, they all really like Teck. He's a fun guy. He brings a certain energy to the house. But it's one of those things, Teck, game-wise, needs to know when to joke around and when not to joke around. And this is one of those times he should not have been joking, because it gave Nehemiah the excuse to put him in. Who knows who Nehemiah would have thought about. But as soon as Teck started teasing him, Nehemiah's like, all right, I'll see you in there. And Nehemiah, he's a tall guy. He looks like he's pretty athletic. We find out he is a competitor, but he is extremely skinny. And so that's why Nehemiah even said, I hope it's a pole wrestle. I hope it's something to do with strength, because I'm going to mess you up, kind of thing. And, Teck messed up when he put that target on his back. So we move forward. Skip ahead a little bit. Teck kind of sees the writing on the wall. But before we get to deliberation, no. We get to deliberation. Teck volunteers. All the guys are fine with it. Go ahead, Teck.
Yeah.
Fight the power. Derek compliments him, says he's got a lot of respect for him. But there's somebody that doesn't like this.
Yeah, it was Jemmye. Jemmye was not having it. And also Ruthie, because Teck is her like number one guy, so she knows that he has her back and she has his, and if he goes in and is gone, there goes basically her, it seems like her only alliance. Yeah,
and Jemmye also made note in the aftermath too that her and Teck had gotten a little comfortable with each other, kissing and stuff like that, and Jemmye made note that she wanted to vote for Big Easy, mainly because she didn't want to ever be partnered with Big Easy. She didn't want to be on a team with Big Easy. She wanted him out of there. So that's some good points, and that is made to Nehemiah. It's also something that's made to Kendall, who has the lifesaver. Kendall, during the party, then goes person to person to person to person to person, and is talking about the lifesaver constantly. Her and Ruthie at first are trying to figure it out. Then she talks to Kellyanne. Then she talks to Mark, and everybody's like, "Shh, you're talking too loud. Shh, you're talking too loud." Basically, if you're going to make a game move, hey, let's talk about this in private. Let's not talk about this right now. That kind of thing. But I don't think Kendall had it in her heart or her mind to make a game move. I think Kendall just wants to know what is going to happen. What will this lifesaver do? And she was trying to figure it out from anybody that would tell her. But the whole house took it as, Kendall, stop. You're showing your cards. Mm-hmm. Mark even made a comment, I think, in his confessional. She went about trying to figure it out the wrong way. It was just really, really awkward. So once again, Kendall's painting a target on her back, but she's self-aware on that one. And
because even it first started off with just her and Ruthie trying to how was it used on your season? Because it was used this way on my season,
right?
And the way they were talking, it was two different ways. I mean, there's two different ways to use the, what is it called?
Lifesaver.
The lifesaver. So I mean, and there's no way to know for sure because it's never this. Just thinking back, there's multiple ways.
Yeah. And then, after the party's done, they end up going to the arena. And what was the elimination called again?
Going out of tile.
Going out of tile.
Yeah.
Going out of tile. So Nehemiah comes in. Teck comes in. TJ asks Kendall, do you want to use the lifesaver? Apparently, it's probably edited out, but apparently it takes Kendall forever to make a decision because Anissa's like, Kendall, all you got to do, yes, I want to use a lifesaver. No, I don't want to use a lifesaver. Make a decision. And then Kendall finally says she will not use the lifesaver, which I want to see what happens. I want to see what it does. And I've also been thinking, will the lifesaver ever be used? Because this is an individual competition. Why would you use the lifesaver? I mean, I guess it could be used if you want to save a weaker player and replace them with a stronger player if you get that ability. For example, now Kendall and Darrel are tight, right? So I can't ever see her doing this, but Darrel will win a final all day long. So if you don't want him to get there, you say, I'm taking Teck out, and if TJ if these are the rules, I'm putting Darrel in. Then you got Darrel versus Nehemiah. You got two strong competitors. Keep Teck. He's not as strong as these guys, that kind of thing. But we don't know the rules. So I'm excited to see what's going to happen.
The thing, too, about that is the opposite gender has the lifesaver. So it's not really I can see, for Jemmye, how she doesn't want to run with Big Easy. So that's why she would use it. But, for a girl, I don't know.
But TJ made it clear, episode 1, this is an individual competition.
Yeah.
So you are doing guys versus girls. Even though the girls are getting the lifesavers to save the guys. Mm. You know what I'm saying? So when it comes to the final, it's not going to be, hey, Kendall and Darrel, possibly partners, you guys get to split the $500,000. There is one winner. So Darrel, from a female's perspective, you're not only got to worry about Kellyanne and Anissa and Beth and Jemmye. You got to worry about, right now, you only worry about your gender. Mm-hmm. But you got to think weeks ahead or however long they're there, man, I got to compete against Darrel. I got to compete against Nehemiah in the final. That's what, unless there is one male winner, one female winner, but that's not what TJ said. It could change.
Because isn't that how kind of Madness was set up? He's like, this is an individual game, but sometimes you'll be in pairs, sometimes you'll be in groups and teams and stuff like that. But it is an individual game, and then what ended up happening was Jenny and Bananas split, right? A male and a female competitor split.
Yeah.
The top prize, right?
Right. Yeah, there was one male winner, one female winner. If that's the way it plays out later, fine. But that's not the way I've taken it so far. Mm. That's not the way TJ explained it, but it could change in the future. Well, anyway, Kendall doesn't use the lifesaver. Teck's down there. Nehemiah's down there. TJ says, ready, set, wait.
He puts on that plastic glove.
Yeah.
Like, what is going on?
yeah. Nehemiah says, bend over. Like, going to the doctor kind of thing. And then...
It's those Carolina Reapers.
Yeah.
The hottest peppers in the world.
I have never eaten those, but I'm not a spicy food guy. I'm not a hot sauce guy. So when he said, I know what those are though. I've seen people do that. They're no joke. And this is where I kind of thought, oh, Teck's going to quit. He's done. You know, because you had made mention episode 1, you thought Teck was going to quit.
Yeah.
And so when that guy came out, I was like, oh, Teck's done. He's going to quit. But Teck, man, he really impressed me. I kind of, now that I've seen what Teck is capable of, I wish he would have stuck around longer. Mm-hmm. But yeah, he pulls out the Carolina Reapers. They both eat it. It causes a lot of pain. TJ asks Teck, how you doing? Teck flips him off. TJ thinks it's hilarious. He's laughing.
That's the best answer I ever heard.
Yeah. And then he makes him wait there for a little bit. And then he says, go. And Teck is throwing up and running at the same time.
Oh, my goodness.
Now, this is one of those things I would have been on the edge of my seat for this competition if MTV had not ruined it by showing a trailer where Nehemiah and Jemmye are cuddled up together. So since I had not seen that scene up till now, I knew Teck was going to lose. And this was such a close competition. It was a really good competition. So MTV, if you ever listen to this, please do a better job of not revealing who's going to be there later. Like we want the competition to be nail biting, edge of your seat kind of thing. But as soon as I saw that, I was like, Teck's going to lose. And
then you have viewers like me, and I forgot all about that. And like, whoa, what's going on? This is close elimination.
Yeah. Some people may not catch it, but there's some that will. And so to cover your whole basis, don't spoil it, kind of thing. But Teck does end up losing. He puts up a great fight. I mean, he is right there with Nehemiah, but Nehemiah pulls out the win. I really think if Kendall had used the lifesaver and Big Easy would have went in, who do you think would have won?
I feel like Nehemiah would have won. I feel he's a little quicker and a little stronger, especially when it comes to the time where they have to go and hit the tiles up on the top. Like I think Big Easy would have had a little more difficult time than Teck, because Teck was just like hanging like nothing. He was just punching and just doing it. So
yeah, Teck gave it his all, and he was fast. Just wasn't as fast as Nehemiah, and I feel like this was definitely a competition that was meant for somebody with speed. And Big Easy, I like him as a competitor, but he's not fast. Mm-hmm. And I think Nehemiah would have smoked him. And if Fessy would have been there, I think Nehemiah would have smoked Fessy too. I don't think Fessy would have eaten the Carolina Reaper.
Yeah, we haven't seen him eat anything.
Yeah, he's one loser. He would have just straight up lost to Nehemiah. But yeah, that would have been interesting if they would have went that route. But Nehemiah does pull out the win. The lifesaver is not used. Teck, unfortunately, has to go home. And then we move on to the trailer. And it looks like Arissa puts a little bit of a target on her back. And still, in my opinion, I think she's the one that quits. Trishelle was one of my thoughts. She's gone. Teck was one of your thoughts. He's gone. We still don't know who quits. If it's not Arissa, I have zero clue who the quitter is going to be. And we backtrack a little bit. Forgot to mention Ruthie and Anissa get into it this episode. And I wish we would have got a little more context with this. But I think it's one of those things. These two people, they just don't like each other. Yeah. They don't get along. It's tough because I like Ruthie and I like Anissa. And it seems like Ruthie is a very genuine, nice person. And Anissa, from what we've seen through the years that we've watched her, seems like a genuinely nice person. But for some reason, they just rub each other the wrong way. And
yeah, something happened on the duel too. I don't know, I think it was 2009 or something. But something happened and it seemed like maybe Anissa didn't have Ruthie's back or didn't follow through with something that they had talked about. But I don't remember what that was, and it didn't even the recap or the flashback, it didn't really show.
Yeah, there's just not enough context for us as a viewer to know what is the beef between Anissa and Ruthie. And like I said, I think it's just one of those things, they just rub each other the wrong way.
Yeah.
And they just got to kind of stay away from each other. But it's one of those things, like, they could at least be, civil to each other, but it doesn't even look like that's what's going on either. But
I like how Jemmye, she was just like trying to like tell Ruthie to come in for a hug, like trying to comfort her, but she's just standing there with her arms open, and Ruthie's like going off, and then finally kind of like comes close. But yeah.
So I know we did this a little bit out of order, but we tried to do it without notes. If you're listening and you comment down below, do you guys want us to stick to the notes? Do you guys want us to let it flow a little more naturally, even if it's out of order? We'd love to hear from you. And leave your comments down below. As always, like, share, and subscribe. And have a wonderful day.
Aloha.